What is good, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. So today's video is going to be really quick. I had to relax and get settled in after the workout I had this morning because I was so activated off of pre-workout that I was like, let me get a shower and relax and then try again and make this video. So I really want to talk about something and I just want to have a candid conversation. So it's going to be like we're on FaceTime today. So just picture like you're right here with me. I'm giving you a little pep talk because I know that you need it. So I really want you guys to stop taking all of this responsibility for what the old version of you did. Because remember, if you've been following in the past few videos, it never happened to the person who has their desires. Who you are when you have your desires, whether you're with your SP, whether you have the money, whatever it is that you desire, whatever you did in the past that was signaling that person that did not have, it did not happen to the one who has. It's two different versions, two different storylines. But I find this that has been happening this past week in a lot of the conversations that I've had with clients. And I remember that this was something that I used to do a lot of the times whenever things would come up from the past, whether it was something that you did or something that someone said, and it kind of is being brought to the present. Once you've already decided that you're the person who has their desires, whatever happened previously is null and void to you. It no longer is your story. But when you take responsibility and you play into it and you're giving it all this attention and all this emotion and dissecting, and maybe this means this, and then you feel bad because of that happened and all these things, you're still confirming that you have not moved out of that state and you're taking responsibility for a version of you that you no longer are. So the best way to do this is to neutralize. You guys, you have to start thinking that you have to neutralize the old story. You have to stop giving it attention and you have to stop whenever it comes up or something comes up. Yes, you may have to do something that you don't want to do as far as like let's say pay the bill or you get the bills in the mail or the debt bills or whatever this is. Yes, you're going to receive those, but the more that you give your energy, your because this is an experience with your own energy, you guys. Whatever you're experiencing right now is you're experiencing with your own energy, and you're walking around with all this God source energy within you, and you are giving it to the old story continuously when you are reacting, when you are, well, he meant this, and I wonder what this means, and I'm feeling bad because of that. But if you've already decided that we're together, or I have my desires, or everything is paid for, you have to add momentum to that story, and you have to deactivate basically the old program from the old story. So you don't give it your attention, you don't give it all this attention by you dissecting and trying to figure out and create a story. Once you create a story to it, you're attaching meaning and you're attaching yourself to that old story. So I notice when people get a lot of mixed manifestations, like you'll see like some money trickle in or you'll get a little bit of movement from your specific person, but it's never consistent. It's because you're still taking on responsibility from whatever that person is doing from that old story. Yes, it happened in one version for one version of you, but the version of you who has their desires is going perfectly. So you have to stop taking responsibility from that old story and neutralize it by not reacting, practicing non reaction, being very neutral about what is appearing, giving less attention to it as possible, and pouring more energy into the news story, really activating that story, really programming that news story, really adding momentum, like really going there in the new story and staying there and adding more feelings, more emotions, more context to that story, making meaning for that new story instead of, oh, I got to figure this out because this has happened and all this. You don't have to figure out the how. When you deactivate the story and you take your attention away from it and put it onto the story that you desire and keep telling the new story, that's all you have to do is tell the new story, you guys. Activate that new story, give the emotions, give the meanings to the new story. That's going to be your story. That's how you quickly move out of unwanted circumstances. But stop taking all this responsibility and trying to dissect and trying to make meaning and trying to do all these things for an old story that you no longer want. You guys, just keep telling the new story. Stop looking back. It didn't happen for the one who has your desires, okay? So I really wanted to keep this simple, short, and sweet. I don't want you guys to take on responsibility for things that you no longer desire, things that you no longer want. The more that you give it less attention, neutral attention, or no attention at all, and only tell the story how you desire it to be, then it deactivates the story. You're taking your God source power away from the story, and then it just goes back into the quantum field. And you're lighting up, you're activating the new story when you are telling the story the way that you want it to be, when you are giving the thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and really putting all your momentum into that new story. Then that's the story that will appear. So, yes, things may happen in the old story that may come into or seem like it's bleeding into the new story. But when you give it no attention, neutral attention, deal with it as light as possible and continue to tell the new story, it will go away, you guys. It will turn into what you desire. You will pick up momentum in that new story and you will be living in your desired reality. So stop taking responsibility for the person that you no longer are. All right. So I love you guys so much. If you would like a session with me by phone or email, go down to the description box below. And yeah, you guys, imagination, like get in your imagination. That is the true reality. Decide to see things the way that you want them to be and stick with that story. Keep adding the momentum to that story. Keep telling the story in the face of the old story. Don't let it take your emotions from you. Stop giving your emotions willingly to the old story. You have to be neutral. You have to deprogram the old story, take your attention off of it, and it will go. All right. So I love you guys again. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.